My boyfriend keeps making rude jabs at me that I'm not an adult. Hello, so I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years. We're getting married soon, so it's serious. We've been trying to save up for a car. He works as a sub-custodian. I'm extremely sick from my heart and lungs. I've been on disabilities since I was 10. We thought we had enough for one today, but we need to save a little more. It frustrated my boyfriend a lot and he got extremely snappy with me, which is rare for him to be. Twice today he's made jabs saying, well, it sucks to be an adult, or you wouldn't understand how hard it is to work because you never have. This hurt me a lot, but I didn't say anything. I just let it slide since he's so upset over the car. My medical problems are very hard for me to handle. I was wheelchair bound for almost 6 years until I worked out tirelessly to be able to stand and walk again. The smallest things make me very exhausted and it's hard to do daily things on my own. But I feel that since he works, it's fair I cook and keep the house clean and care for our 2 dogs. Try my very hardest to keep the house spotless even though it makes me so tired. And yes, I understand that I'll never know how hard he works at his job because I've never had one, but that still hurt a lot. I cook, clean, care for him when he's sick. I make the grocery lists, I pay the bills. It makes me sad he thinks so little of me. Should I talk to him about it? Why are you considering marrying someone who thinks so little of you? You were in a wheelchair. You're still having trouble with your heart and lungs. None of this is your fault. And he's making snide remarks. Really? You're absolutely an adult. You've probably grown up a hell of a lot faster than even you realize. Yes. Talk to him. This attitude needs to change, quick. Just my opinion, I don't think you're going to like the answer. Absolutely talk to him about it. That was really not okay for him to say, regardless of whether he was upset. Is this how you want your husband to treat you? Yes, you should talk to him about this. He holds you in contempt over a disability. This isn't the way you treat someone you love. Consider putting the brakes on the wedding plans until you are certain that he admires and respects you as much as you do him. You should definitely bring it up. Explain it like you have here. He needs to understand that you've had your own struggles unique to his, and life hasn't been easy for you, either. Sounds like he's bitter or jealous about having to work while you don't have to. Ask him if he'd like to have the same health issues you have. She clearly works, and from the sounds of it, probably harder than he does even if she's staying home. Preparing to see daughter. I gave up at birth next weekend. I'm quite terrified. I was 15 when I had her and I didn't want to be a mother and I waited too long to have an abortion. For the entire pregnancy, my partner and I, at the time, both agreed that we would give the baby up for adoption and even found parents, but at the last minute, he backed out and said he wanted to keep the baby. I was scared, terrified even, and I didn't want to be a mother at all. Wanted to forget all of it even happened. We were too young to be someone's mom and dad. The last month of my pregnancy was hard. I contacted the adoptive parents and told them that it will most likely not happen, but I'll reach out to them if things go back to how they were supposed to. I thought he was bluffing. He always made decisions without thinking. I had the baby, a girl, and he didn't change his mind. He wanted to be a 15-year-old dad, and I was scared, but he told me that I didn't have to be in the baby's life, so I wasn't. I went to live with my aunt in another state for the remainder of my teen years. My parents were furious when they found out I was pregnant, and my dad didn't talk to me for weeks at first, but eventually they kinda came around. I didn't want to be reminded of the fact I had a baby and I was given a chance to start fresh. I was hoping that he eventually give up the baby. It was all based on guilt. I'd rather would have had a child and give them up for adoption versus having a child and leaving them to be raised by one parent. When my daughter was 5, I found her dad on Instagram. It was the first time I saw her since birth. I was still young at the time, 20, and ended up deleting Instagram because I didn't want to be reminded of what I did. 4 years went by and I signed into my old account, and saw my block list had her father. This time she was 9. I unblocked him and went through her photos with him. I reached out and I got an instant "please do not contact again" and a block. It took him 2 years to give me an okay to see her, which is supposed to be next week. I'm scared, guilty, ashamed but happy. I don't expect to be welcomed with open arms. I just want to talk. She's 11 and Sheso the cheerleading team, ironic because I was 2. I thought I was ready, but I'm not sure. Some days I wish I never left, most night especially in the past year. I am a birth mother. I have been through this. She is going to ask questions. Be honest in your answers. You can be vague and put them into words that a child can understand, but always be absolutely honest with her. But she is also a kid. She will ask a question that you are prepared to give a long, in-depth answer to, and as soon as you say because she will say okay and run off to play. Just don't force anything. Take it nice and easy and slow and let her lead. My birth daughter is now 20 years old. We don't have a hallmark relationship, but she knows I am there for her if she needs anything and will answer any questions she has, no matter how weird they are. But there are no rules, no expectations, just go with the flow. And, sweetie, I have done this. Even the hard parts. You can message me privately if you have any questions. Damn. I was hoping for a happy story since I was adopted at birth with parents your same age. I met them 2 years ago. I am 34 now. Having them in my life is amazing. I am a rational adult, and although I am sad at times for some of their choices, I can see myself in them. At this point what is done, and playing the what if game isn't really productive. I had a shitty childhood. Sure there was money, but not a lot of love, and a fair bit of neglect and abuse. I hope your daughter is doing well. It would be nice for you to get to know her. She might feel abandoned by you, and confused about your intentions going forward. Do you want a relationship with her? I think when you meet you should let her take the lead. Tell her she can ask you anything she likes, and that you will answer honestly. Make this visit about her, not about you. She should dictate how much you guys meet up. Maybe dad would be comfortable eventually letting you watch her cheer practice. I hope everything goes well and works out. Breath. Bring pictures, especially if you have any from when you were pregnant, or of you and her father doing something. Kids like seeing photos of their parents when they existed before they were around. Other than that, you could bring a gift. I don't know though, maybe just a card, something from the heart that isn't assuming she'll want to see you again. You made the right choice for yourself at the time. As hard as it is, it was the choice that worked for you. My advice is seek a therapist or support group in your area. Beyond that, take things as slow as you need to. This is a lot of emotion to process. Do what's right for you. Sending you love and positive energy, you/throw a watermelon 333. You were only 15, and you didn't have the support of your parents. You made the decision that you thought would have been best for your daughter. There's some women's support groups in your area. Some Planned Parenting places offer counseling, and I know this is after the fact, but they may also point you to resources, and more therapy. It may help to have people who understand what you're going through talk you through the experience. It was trauma. You went through a traumatic experience, and you're reminded of that with every time you see her because of the guilt. Talk through this with someone, don't go through it alone. 3. Be aware that he is probably skeptical that you want to be in her life. His family and him will likely be on guard and worried that you may want to try for custody. I was given up as a baby. I never met birth mother until I was in my 20s. I didn't hate her or anything for giving me up, but I had no interest in having a relationship with her. Trying to get into her life prior to her being an adult is probably a good move. You did what you had to do. I commend you for giving her up instead of other alternatives. My boyfriend made me drop him off in town so he could have sex with another girl. I need some valid opinions of this. Would you be upset if you just found out that your current partner made you drive them to town where they fucked another girl only to continue speaking to you like nothing had happened? We had been seeing each other for 6 months prior to the event but weren't officially dating yet, so apparently it doesn't matter. I have just found out a year later after looking through his phone, previously asking him if he'd had any secrets to lay it on the table, and he said no. He said it wasn't meant to happen, he was intoxicated and he didn't plan on it. Not cool. While it's common enough to be seeing more than one person at once while things are still in a casual stage, to make you drive him to see his next date is not a classy move. Rather the opposite. Nothing says how interested someone is in a person quite going straight to the next person in the queue. What? Girl, get some self-respect. I beg you. We weren't officially dating yet. What the F were you doing, being his fuck buddy chauffeur? That's just disrespectful even if you aren't official. You know yourself that you don't deserve that. Who wouldn't be upset? Why are you even trying to defend him? Wouldn't be my man anymore. Woman shrugging.